Well, hello, everybody. Today, we will be talking about motivation and discipline. But let's talk about motivation first. When you usually typically start something new and you're all motivated and you're gung-ho, and motivation feels wonderful, it's exciting, it's great to have it, and it fuels action for you to get going. But motivation is one of those things that is very short-lived. So what happens when that motivation is not there anymore? What do you do? So this is where I feel, planning and discipline play such a huge role in achieving the results that you want. What it really truly means to me is knowing why you're doing what you're doing. When I had my second child, and he was 8 months old, and I went back to work. I was working in corporate at the time, and I was an accountant for an investment firm. And I went headfirst into a year-end audit. So it was basically a crap show in my life. I had a 6-year-old and I had an 8-month-old and I had a long commute to work. Long story short, I had zero time for myself. My diet was suffering. My strength was suffering. I didn't have time for workouts. I barely had time to sleep. It was just not the nicest period in my life. I needed to somehow find a way to get back into some sort of a routine. And so what I did, I went online and I found this 30-day challenge, which basically had me exercising 15 to 20 minutes every single day. But before I even got into it, my thought was how am I going to plan for it? Where am I going to find 15, 20 minutes out of my day to get this done? So my little one went to bed around 8 o'clock. So I said, okay, 8:30 is going to be my time to exercise. 15, 20 minutes, I can do this. And at the beginning, of course, I'm okay, I have a plan, this is going to work. So 15 minutes, 20 minutes out of my day, it's doable. I was all excited. I was motivated for the first few days. And, day after day, that motivation was not happening at all. But I stuck with it because when I looked at why I was doing what I was doing, I had to really take a long, hard look at myself and be okay, why did you set out to do this? And it was because I needed to take care of myself. So to me, that was my why, and that was my reason for staying disciplined and consistent and sticking with my plan of 15, 20 minutes every day. I dragged my butt. I turned on the videos. I'm pretty sure there were a few times when I just cried through them because I was just too tired, but I did it anyway. That was a start of a non-negotiable self-care for myself. And from then onwards, I've never, ever wavered. It was never even a question of, doing something perfect or, to the highest standard. It was always what can I do today to take care of myself? And that was my fuel, to be organized and to plan for things and to be disciplined. What I also found is that when I stopped relying on motivation, I gained control. As long as you don't rely on motivation, the power is within you. Because if I was to sit there and wait for motivation to come and be that sucker, it's just not showing up, so that means I'm not going to do anything. Well, I don't have motivation. But once I realized that I can rely on it, and frankly, motivation, it literally always shows up after the fact. So once you get going and once you get started, that's when motivation comes. You can achieve anything as long as you have control. And you have control because you have discipline and you have planning, and that helps you execute your plan. That's it. It is literally that simple. I didn't say it was easy, because sometimes even being disciplined is hard. But I think knowing and understanding that the power is literally always in your hands. Next time you're not feeling motivated, think about what you can do to plan your life better, to still fit in small acts. It doesn't have to be everything, it doesn't have to be perfect. But what is it that you can put in to everyday practice to still help you move towards your goal and stay consistent?